You don't stop moving because you grow old. You grow old because you stop moving. Have you ever wondered why some people reach their 90s still climbing stairs, walking in the park, legs strong and steady, while others at just 70 already need help getting out of a chair? It doesn't seem fair, does it? There's something behind that difference, and something few people ever talk about. There's a vital vitamin, often overlooked, that can make all the difference in the strength of your legs. A vitamin that works silently but powerfully inside your body. And here's the best part. Getting your strength back and regaining independence might be much simpler than you think. Imagine you're 60, 70, or even 80 years old, and you feel your legs just aren't what they used to be. Maybe you trip more, often, or you feel strangely weak after a short walk. You avoid stairs. Maybe you're even afraid of falling. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But even more important, there is a solution. In this video, you'll discover what this essential vitamin is, how it works in your body in a simple and scientific way, and what you can start doing today to regain strength, balance, and confidence. And if you stay with us until the end, you'll hear Maria's story. At 82, she could barely walk, but turned her life around with simple yet powerful changes. So get ready for a conversation that might change how you see the health of your legs and your entire aging journey. Now imagine two friends, Louise and Evandro. Both are 74 years old, childhood neighbors. They worked side by side for decades and retired around the same time. Same routine, same diet, same city, same climate. But today the difference between them is obvious. Louise walks 3 kilometers every day. He happily tends to his garden. He even dances with his wife on Saturday nights. Meanwhile, Evandro needs help to climb a single step. He's afraid to go out alone. He avoids walking even inside his home. What caused such a huge difference? Was it genetics, exercise, diet? Sure, all of that matters. But there's something else, a silent factor that's often ignored, yet makes a massive impact. The levels of a specific vitamin directly linked to muscle strength in the legs. We're not talking about something exotic or mysterious. This is a vitamin most people have heard of, but tend to underestimate. We're talking about vitamin D. Yes, the same vitamin you've probably heard mentioned here and there. But what we're going to reveal goes far beyond typical health advice. Because the truth is, vitamin D plays a much deeper role in muscle health than most people realize. And unfortunately, it's one of the most common deficiencies among older adults, especially in countries like Brazil. Recent studies published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism show that seniors with low vitamin D levels are twice as likely to suffer falls and significant leg weakness. Twice as likely, that's a big deal. And the worst part? Most people don't even know they're deficient. So why does this happen? Vitamin D plays a crucial role in several bodily functions. First, it helps the body absorb calcium, which is essential for strong bones. But what many don't know is that it also acts directly on the muscles. It improves muscle tone, strength, balance, and even coordination. In other words, it's like fuel for your legs. Here's an alarming fact. Over 70% of older adults in Brazil have a vitamin D deficiency, 7 out of 10. And in most cases, they have no idea. That's because the symptoms start off subtle. A bit more tired than usual, slight weakness, some leg pain that seems normal, until one day getting out of a chair becomes a struggle. Walking feels risky, and the falls start happening. But wait, don't panic. This isn't bad news, it's an opportunity to turn things around. And it starts by understanding how your body actually makes this vitamin. The good news is that the human body can produce vitamin D on its own. The bad news is that it needs something very specific to do that. Sunlight. That's right. Sun exposure is the main source of vitamin D. When your skin is exposed to sunlight, especially UVB rays, it triggers a natural process that creates this vital vitamin. But there's a catch. As we age, our ability to produce vitamin D declines. And not only that, many older adults spend more time indoors. They avoid sunlight due to skin cancer fears. They wear clothes that cover most of their bodies. Or they simply don't go outside much anymore. Even in sunny countries like Brazil, Vitamin D deficiency in seniors is extremely common, because just living in a sunny place isn't enough. You have to get the right kind of sun exposure. And that's where most people go wrong. They don't know how important it is, or they ignore it. And what happens when your body lacks vitamin D? The effects go way beyond just feeling off. It starts with mild symptoms: fatigue, muscle aches, a strange weakness. Then, it gets worse. Climbing stairs becomes difficult. Your walk gets slower, you start tripping more. Confidence fades, and with it comes fear. Vitamin D deficiency is also directly linked to sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass and strength that comes with aging. When your body lacks vitamin D, sarcopenia speeds up. Muscles get weaker, reflexes slow down, legs, once a symbol of strength, begin to fail. On top of that, vitamin D deficiency increases the risk of bone diseases like osteoporosis and osteopenia, raising the chances of serious fractures. What does this all lead to? Trouble walking, constant fear of falling, and in many cases, loss of independence, which can be deeply scary for anyone who's always been active and self-sufficient. But here's the good news: it can change. And it doesn't require any miracle, just knowledge and consistent action. So let's talk practical. How do you safely and effectively restore your vitamin D levels? There are three main ways. Sunlight, the simplest and most natural method. Experts recommend 15 to 20 minutes of sun exposure daily for seniors, preferably before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m., when the sunlight is softer. Ideally, your arms and legs should be exposed without sunscreen during this short window. You don't need to tan, just let your skin feel the sun. Supplementation. In many cases, sunlight alone isn't enough, especially if you're already deficient. The most common daily dose for seniors is between 800 to 2000 IU, but always do this under medical guidance. Too much vitamin D can actually harm your kidneys, so don't guess. Get a simple blood test to check your levels and determine the right dose. Food. While diet isn't the primary source of vitamin D, it can help support your levels. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines are rich in vitamin D, so are eggs and sun-exposed mushrooms. But remember, these foods are helpers, not the main source. Now you may be wondering, does all this really work? Let's go back to Maria's story. Maria is 82. She had always been active, but slowly she noticed something strange in her legs. They felt like they were about to give out. And one day, they did. She fell, twice, in just a few months. She became afraid to go out alone. She avoided stairs, and she lost confidence in herself. That's when, with her doctor's guidance, she decided to take action. Tests showed her vitamin D levels were very low. She started supplementing with the recommended dose. She began spending 15 minutes each morning in the sun, with arms and legs exposed. She went back to walking on her neighborhood sidewalks, slowly, with no rush, but consistently. 3 months later, the changes were clear. Her legs were stronger, her balance improved, but most importantly, Maria got her confidence back. She went out on her own again. She smiled again, with security. She didn't become young again, but she felt alive again. And vitamin D's benefits don't stop there. Studies also show it helps improve mood. That's because it plays a role in regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin, the chemical responsible for well-being. It also strengthens the immune system, helping your body fight off infections. And there's evidence that healthy vitamin D levels may reduce the risk of heart disease. In short, it's a tiny vitamin with a huge impact. A kind of natural shield that protects many systems in your body, often quietly, but powerfully. And it all starts with small daily habits. To wrap up, here's a simple checklist to keep your vitamin D on track. Get safe sun exposure daily. Do regular blood tests to monitor your levels. Talk to your doctor about supplements if needed. Support it all with a healthy diet and light exercise. These are small steps, but with huge results. And one final note: Just like too little vitamin D is harmful, too much can be too. It can cause toxicity and damage your kidneys, so never self-medicate. Always seek professional advice. Your health deserves informed, responsible care. Strengthening your legs, regaining balance and independence, doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. It can start with something as simple as 15 minutes of sun a day. At 70, 80, 90, even 94, you can still take firm new steps. You can still feel strong, steady, independent, because it all starts with one small change, one new habit, one extra bit of care, and above all, the decision to never give up on yourself. If this video helped you in any way, give it a like, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to the Golden Age channel. Every week we bring you simple, practical, science-based tips to help you age with health, joy, and strength. See you in the next video.